So you can't win them all, although we felt like you could for a while.
Yes.
And then we found out yesterday with the Heat that you can't win them all. And Josh Appel is here. He's going to join us in the 3 o'clock hour, but he popped on the headphones for 2 seconds before the show started, asked Solana, what's your panic meter at? And I was like, panic meter? Like, what are you talking about? Do you have any panic about the Heat series?
With that conversation I just heard, and there was a lot of cuss words involved. I don't know if we're supposed to tell people that. My panic meter's at 0 now. If we lose Game 6, it's going to 100, and I'm not sleeping that night.
If you lose Game 6 or Game 5?
Game 6. If we're 3-3 going back to Boston,
yes.
It's going to 100, but until then, you're up 3-0. We're gonna figure this thing out over these next 2.
Right. I didn't see anything. Last night, what I saw was just kind of a lackadaisical effort by the Heat, but that's expected, in my opinion, with the run that they've been on, to keep up the pace and the percentages for every single game would be ridiculous. So I didn't see anything last night. I do think there's a distinct possibility that Boston wins at home tomorrow night as well. But again, they've got to win 4 straight from this Heat team. It doesn't look to me like there's anything to be panicked about. But I'll ask you, Solana, you were there, and I don't know if your panic meter is going off at all.
It's not.
Okay.
Not even close. And not, even after watching Get Up this morning, seeing Mike Greenberg say the Celtics.
Greeny anointed the Celtics Nuggets the NBA Finals.
Yeah. No, I'm not panicking at all. I am very upset. I had a night's rest, and I woke up this morning. I'm very upset that there was no trophy presentation last night. I agree, in the third quarter, the Heat have a 6-point lead after halftime, expecting them to come out how they did in Game 3. And they didn't. And they didn't execute. They were sloppy at times. Like, you just felt like there was no sense of urgency for Miami. I don't understand that, so I'm a little frustrated.
Well, isn't that kind of understandable, though? Like, if you're up 3-0, you've been having a great playoffs. Like, isn't that the actual game where the sense of urgency would disappear and the silly mistakes would appear because, hey, we're up 3-0, and the Celtics gave up.
Yes.
So let's just waltz our way into the NBA Finals. We've had no problem so far.
The thought of fighting out of a corner. Don't have a wild animal in the corner. Those are the Celtics right now. We're in the middle of the room laughing and playing, drinking Celsius, hanging out. But that's not the Heat culture. We don't just back down. We don't just – what? Honestly, I'm sure we have the audio. Jimmy's post-game press conference, that's what made me get my panic meter to 0 because Jimmy said it all. We didn't have energy. We didn't come out with we missed too much stuff. Our defense wasn't locked in. Like, y'all saw what happened, and I'm admitting what happened. That's what put my panic meter to nothing because of the fact that it was so obvious what happened last night. We always say a win's a win, but you can take something from it. I didn't take any panic from that win.
He said last night, we'll have a beer, we'll have a wine, and we'll get back to it like no panic.
Yes.
But you know what, Crowder? We're supposed to be having beer today to celebrate. We're supposed to be having wine today to celebrate, and they're not.
Solana, your guts are there. Let's be honest.
Oh,
the
100%.
They're there.
The
but
Heat
the
are not
Boston
losing
Celtics,
4 straight.
They're not. But the Boston Celtics are a very good basketball team that we've made look like a quitting bad organization.
Right. So when you go, we're supposed to be having the beer today, it's like, okay, were we really supposed to win this series 4-0? Were we, you know what I mean? Like that's where I say, hey, what happened last night happened last night. I mean, Kyle Lowry missed a couple shots where you're like,
bunnies.
What is that? Like, how did that happen? I wonder, is there any update on Gabe Vincent? Because that ankle roll looked really bad to me, but then he came back in and played.
Yeah, officially no, but he said yesterday, like, he wasn't even feeling it anymore. And then Spo was asked about it, and Spo said, I have no idea, because anytime you ask these guys how they're feeling, they say, I'm good. So I bet there will be some sort of official announcement coming up sooner rather than later. But Gabe, yesterday after the game, said he's fine.
All right.
Can I tell you all about my guts? End of the third quarter, there was bad storming, Dave. I don't know how it was in Boca or Kendall. I don't know if Kendall.
Lightning like crazy.
It was crazy. It knocked out our transformer. So my neighborhood from start of the fourth quarter until 4:30 a.m. was pitch black. I got on the phone. I watched the fourth quarter on my telephone, little bitty screen, going from the 72-inch to the iPhone screen. That shows my guts. I told the story just to show my guts.
Yeah. No, listen, it is what it is. I would love to be celebrating today and previewing Heat Nuggets. Didn't happen. It's not the most surprising thing. It's still more surprising that the Heat are leading this series 3-1 than the Boston Celtics winning a game last night. So I think everyone's going to be fine. Panthers will have no problem tonight. They punched their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals without any question, 4-0.
Again, huh?
This one is a rest your starters in the third period kind of night. I think we're all feeling the same way on that one.
This game is going to overtime, guaranteed. Do not have plans after this game. You're going to miss them.
Steph is engineering the Hurricanes broadcast tonight. The last thing he wants to hear is that this thing's going to overtime.
Sorry, Steph.
We're sitting here at 10 after 2. You're still going to be sitting here at 10 after 2. 2 a.m.
It's going to overtime.
Anyway, we have a loaded potato today on the program. Josh Appel is here. If you're watching on the YouTube feed, he's behind me watching videos and stuff. I can hear the audio. He's got it blasted to 100. It's coming through on the microphone. We're obviously interrupting his downtime doing our radio show.
Is this like a time warp?
He's gonna.
Does Appel look like a young Hawk, and now the old Hawk is there? Did you look like
before
that?
and after?
This was
I wish I had that size. I wish I had that
Hawk.
size.
If you were 6'3", you'd be in prison.
I mean,
you'd be in prison
with my mouth, right?
You'd be in prison because you know how to fight.
Yep.
Oh man, you'd be a UFC fighter.
It's really lucky that I'm not his size.
Oh my goodness.
But Appel is going to join us today. Steve Goldstein, Goldie, he's going to join us today. Clay Ferrero talk about wanting to celebrate. So I had talked to Clay yesterday. I said you can be at the arena and jump on with us. We'll talk some Heat, talk some Panthers. And he said, hey, if the Heat win tonight, I will not. Because if the Heat win, Will's going to take a day off tomorrow. I'll be in the studio. And then the Heat lost last night. I texted him, what time you going to be at the arena? So Clay Ferrero is going to sit down with us here at our broadcast table, and we'll have a little bit of fun this afternoon at FLA Live Arena. Solana was looking forward to over a week off without having to do a pre or post game. But listen, at least you don't have to travel, Solana. Like those guys did not want to go back to Boston.
Yeah,
so,
Jax and Amy. Let's just leave it here. They weren't thrilled to be jumping on Heat Force 1 today to go back to Beantown.
I imagine.
Am I a bad fan that I'm currently looking for Game 6 tickets?
Yes.
Savvy. It's a savvy. It's a savvy fan.
Because you can buy them and you can pay a little extra for a refund. I was looking this morning.
I don't know if you're a bad fan. It's a heady play.
Oh, okay.
It's a heady play. Now, if you're looking for I guess there would be no Game 7 at home for either team.
I'm looking for a flight to Boston.
If you're looking for Game 6 Panthers tickets, then shame on you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because then you're just letting Ticketmaster hold your money for a couple days.
Yes.
Because you're never going to use those tickets. This one's over tonight.
Here we go.
All right, let's get headlines here with Alejandro Solana. Put the cigar and the beer underneath the console, and he's just doing the show like he normally does the show.
Yeah.